Pentagon's rapid wartime response cargo ships are trapped in Baltimore after the bridge collapse, according to the shipping blog G-Captain. Using the Automatic Identification System, AIS, data that tracks commercial vessels, the Pentagon's rapid wartime response cargo ships are trapped in Baltimore after the bridge collapse. The 1.6-mile-long Francis Scott Kelly Bridge collapsed Tuesday morning, trapping two fast-moving military cargo ships in the port of Baltimore. For several days, the main U.S. East Coast port has been immobilized due to the collapse of a bridge, which has hindered vessel transit in and out of the harbor. And according to data from Vessel Finder and the Maritime Incident Archive shipwreck log, the cargo ship that collided with the Baltimore bridge, named the Dali, was also involved in a collision in Antwerp back in 2016. According to the shipping blog G-Captain, 3 bulk carriers, 2 general cargo ships and 1 vehicle carrier, 1 tanker, 4 ready reserve force vessels, RRF, and the container ship Dali that struck the bridge are trapped in the harbor using the Automatic Identification System, or AIS, data that tracks commercial vessels. Among the 3 bulk carriers are the Liberian-flagged J.Y. River, owned by J.I. Aid International Ship and managed by Hua Kwong Ship Management HK of Hong Kong, the Thailand-flagged Phatra Nare, owned by Precious Stones Shipping Limited and managed by Precious Shipping of Thailand, the Portuguese-flagged Clara Oldendorf, owned by and managed by Oldendorf Carriers GmbH and Company of Germany. The vehicle carrier is the Swedish Carmen-flagged Carmen, owned by Wall Ro AB, managed by Wallenius Maritime of Sweden. And among the general cargo ships are the French-flagged Sai Magracht, owned by Redert IJ Sai Magracht and managed by Spielhofs Bev Rakens BV of the Netherlands, the Panama-flagged Balsa 94, owned by Eastern Capital Maritime, managed by Heong Guan Navigation of Hong Kong. The vessel is the Marshall Island flag Palanco Rio, owned by Minsheng Ruyang Tianjin Shipping, managed by Puma Energy Supply of Singapore. And the following ships are part of the U.S. Maritime Administration's MARAD Ready Reserve Force: the Cape Washington, a Cape W class roll-on roll-off vessel; the Gary Gordon, a Gordon class roll-on roll-off vessel; the SS Antares, an Algol class fast sealift vehicle cargo ship; the SS Denabola, another Algol class fast sealift cargo vehicle cargo ship. The War Zone, TWZ, a military blog, claims that Algol class ships are some of the fastest cargo vessels of their general size anywhere in the world. These ships are a component of the RRF and subset of MARAD's National Defense Reserve Fleet, which gives the Pentagon access to surge sealift capabilities in the event of an international crisis. And according to TWZ, it takes 5 to 10 days for RRF vessels to activate. Until called upon, a skeleton crew operates the vessels. RRF are positioned at significant U.S. marine ports. TWZ observed that during the previous 3 decades, the Algol class boats have been called into action on multiple occasions. And here you can see the aerial image of them. You can see how, compared to the other ones on their right, how huge they are. Now, the Algol class have been called upon multiple times since they entered U.S. service. Just 5 of these ships were responsible for transporting 20% of the U.S. cargo sent from the United States to Saudi Arabia during the first phase of Operation Desert Shield in the immediate run-up to the first Gulf War. The ships would go on to deliver 13% of all cargo that arrived in Saudi Arabia from the United States in the full course of that conflict. The U.S. military subsequently used Algols to support operations in Somalia and the Balkans in the 1990s, as well as the opening phases of the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq in the early 2000s. The Department of Transportation will not say how many National Defense Reserve Fleet ships are stuck in Baltimore Harbor, according to a Thursday story by Christina Wong of Breitbart News. The CEO of G Captain, John Conrad, was cited by Wong as cautioning that the imprisoned RRF warships pose a huge problem if a war starts, but not much of the problem if the next few months are peaceful. So it is uncertain how prepared the RRF fleet is right now, and just like that, a container ship with an apparent catastrophic electric issue took out a portion of the US RRF fleet in this way. Rather than a missile or a suicide drone, enemies of America are paying attention. Now let's remember, we don't know what's happened to the ship that caused the ship to gear and strike the pillar of the bridge, taking out half the bridge. And we know that a pilot is supposed to be taking the controls from the captain, the master of the ship, to guide the pilot, would guide the ship out into the open sea. And we don't know what happened, this electric issue, what caused it. We do know that we'd have solar storms those days. Now, this is on Great Game India. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.